USC basketball is heading out this week.
But we've got some interviews in the studio, including one of the founding fathers of this show. Sports Scene starts now.
Welcome to the Annenberg Media Center. I'm Rachel Frame.
And I'm Josh Cohen.
And this week, USC is gearing up to face Arizona for basketball, another top 10 team on the road for them. Josh, how good is this Arizona team looking right now?
They're tough. Number 4 in the country, only one loss in conference. The Wildcats are rolling.
You are absolutely right, and USC is not really rolling right now. Unfortunately, the Trojans are looking to avoid their third straight loss in a row, but the team does seem pretty optimistic about being on the road again.
I love away games. You know, we're going to go to a hostile environment. There's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be sold out. So, you know, we're going to be ready to play and hopefully come out with a win.
USC did not come out with the win last time around. Fell to the Wildcats at Galen. Lauri Markkanen, the big man for the Cats, went off in that game, Rachel.
Absolutely, he did. And they were without Alonzo Trier, who they will have again this week, and Lauri Markkanen. How good is Alonzo looking right now, Josh?
Trier is an unbelievable two-guard. He runs the floor so well. He can beat you in so many different ways.
Absolutely, and his partner on the other side, Lauri Markkanen, is no less of a threat. 23 points against USC the last time they were here. That is a big man, and Josh, I mean big.
He is a large individual,
yes.
7 feet. I mean, this guy, his big size doesn't prevent him from being nimble and also a lethal three-point shooter.
Yeah, but these two guys and Arizona are not the only challenge for USC. They also play Arizona State on Sunday for their last road game till they come back home.
Yeah, sneaky tough road game.
Absolutely.
Trojans have not won in Tempe since the 10-11 season. We'll see how they fare. Speaking of seeing how they fare, we're going to kick this thing over to Aaron Glazer, who is talking about the battle for the 4 seed in the Pac-12.
It's the race for the 4 seed in Pac-12 basketball, and USC is right in the mix. So let's set this up. Arizona, Oregon, and UCLA will, in some order, comprise the top 3 Pac-12 tournament seeds, but the 4th is a bit of a battle. Cal is in the lead at a 9-5 conference record, with USC and Utah right behind, each with 8 wins. But here's the thing, though. USC lost to both Cal and Utah earlier this year, which means that they can't tie Cal for the 4th seed. They have to downright beat them. USC finishes their 3rd of 3 straight games versus the top 3 teams tomorrow at Arizona. So if they beat the Wildcats and Oregon beats Cal, then the Trojans and Cal are tied, which is a step in the right direction. If the Trojans lose, then they will likely need to win out and hope Cal can lose 2 of its last 3 to claim that 4th spot. USC will play Arizona State and the Washington schools to close out the year, while Cal takes on Oregon State, Utah, and Colorado. And why is this 4th spot even that much important in the first place? Well, whoever gets it gets a bye in the first round of the Pac-12 tournament. So keep an eye on tomorrow's game against Arizona, because it could impact whether or not March 8th is a Trojan basketball game day or a day with the players sleeping in watching on the couch.
Getting right back into the swing of things this season and gearing up for a road matchup this weekend against the California Golden Bears. While the women of Troy currently hold a 3-2 record on the season, the team has struggled to find consistency on the court, especially in terms of their doubles team pairings. Now, last week in their loss against the Bruins, the women of Troy started this lineup. The Bruins swept the Trojans on each of their 3 doubles sets. But the interesting thing here is that just 4 weeks earlier in their regular season opener, head coach Richard Gallion sent out these pairings, a completely different lineup than the one we saw last week. Now, it is no shock that a head coach and a team would be still working out the kinks in their lineup this early in the season, especially for this USC women's tennis team. Now, last season, Zoe Katz found huge success with her partner Madison Westby, even coming into this season ranked number 30, but she also took the court with Jessica Fela. Westby, on the other hand, was mainly a one-partner gal, only paired with Katz, so you can expect that matchup and pairing to remain firm going forward. Now, the return of Fela and Smith should also come as no surprise, especially with Smith's former partner Juliana Olmos turning pro. And finally, with it being freshman Angela Kulikov's first year on the team, it makes sense to pair her with Rihanna Valdez, who has played alongside Olmos and Fela. It will be interesting to see if these pairings hold up in the team's matchup on Saturday. And for more on that, Rachel is sitting down with one of those women of Troy.
Okay, thanks, Kristen. I'm now joined by one of the women's tennis team's own, Zoe Katz, and a very special friend. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Zoe, could you start off? Could you tell us who this is?
Oh, this is Ziggy. She's my little puppy. She's only 5 months old, and yeah.
She's precious. Does she go everywhere with you? Is
Yeah,
this a best friend thing?
class, practice, everywhere. So yeah, she's all over campus.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, now we'll jump into the tennis.
Okay.
So I know that you are playing #1 right now, singles for the team, but you've got Gabby Smith, Jessica Fales coming up there. Is there any kind of competition you guys have for climbing the ladder? Is it kind of a little more relaxed on the team?
It's kind of like we obviously we were like raised. It's an individual sport, so there is like some sort of competition obviously between us. But our coaches have done a really good job of kind of once you get to school making a difference between the two, knowing that like you're here for the team now. That
Have a complex issue.
Really, it doesn't matter if you're playing 1 or 6. Your point is just as important on the scoreboard. So we've all kind of understood. It's made very clear that you want to do the best for the team, no matter what number you're playing. I'm just lucky right now to be playing 1, but next week I could easily be playing 3. The girls are all like really good, and I don't know, we all just understand it's for the team now. So.
Right, and so you guys are ranked #1 right now in the Pac-12, and even after a loss to UCLA last time around, so you guys head up to Cal. How much pressure do you feel like there is to really get a win there and start back on that win streak?
I don't know if pressure is exactly the right word. We're really hungry to go up there and kind of just go after it. It's going to be an amazing match. What's kind of interesting, I don't know if this is specifically for tennis, but we all grew up with these girls. So the girl that, some of those girls on the Cal team are our best friends. So it's just going to be like a really fun time up there. We want to go up there. We want to do our best. Obviously, we want to win, but it's just going to be a good match and kind of just get more matches under our belt. We haven't actually played that many so far, it feels like. So just get the experience, more matches, more that kind of feeling for our freshmen too.
Right, and UCLA actually plays Cal the day before you guys do. Will you guys be watching those matches super closely, or
we actually
kind of
aren't allowed to watch the match? That's an NCAA rule. So I'll check the scores obviously, but we won't be able to see any of the game plan.
She's just way too excited to be here. Okay, well, I have one last question that I'll let both of you go. So the top 3 and 4 spots in the Pac-12 right now are pretty tight. You guys are all pretty close with each other. How far do you think that this team can go in the Pac-12 and past?
I think we have the ability to go really far. I mean, we have a lot of depth. I have absolute faith in every single one of our players. So, and there's the Pac-12. We're lucky; it's a really strong conference. So we get to play a lot of good teams, which I see as a good thing. So I honestly believe we have a really good shot. It's just gonna see who shows up what day with who we're playing. Our opponents. It's a lot of good matches, so it'll be fun.
Gotcha. Okay, well, thank you both for joining me. And you guys can catch Zoe and the rest of the women of Troy as they take on the Golden Bears this Saturday at Berkeley.
Annika Apostille is racking up awards left and right during her senior season. Apostille is the Dive Scholar Athlete of the Year after leading USC to the NCAA and Pac-12 relay titles last year. The award is given in each of the 23 sports to athletes who are standouts both on the field and in the classroom. Apostille is a psychology major with an impressive 3.9 GPA. The senior transferred to USC from San Diego in 2015, and when she made her 2016 debut as a Trojan, Apostille finished 5-time All-American. You can catch Apostille and the rest of the women of Troy tonight at 6 when they battle for the Pac-12 championship. Now let's toss it over to Josh with the latest on women's lacrosse.
We are on the couch talking women's lax. Max Goldwasser, Abby Flaxer. The USC women's lacrosse team is humming at the moment. They defeated Northwestern this past weekend in a thriller, 11-10 in overtime. They're up to number 3 in the country. Next up, the Gators of Florida. Kerrigan Miller had the game winner in the OT period, and head coach Lindsey Monday had some things to say about the standout freshman.
You know, her confidence, and it's really kind of a quiet confidence, I think is what I noticed the most. I think she's really hard on herself and wants to be, continue to get better and wants to be the best for this team. And I think that's what the thing that's been exciting to see, how she can just walk on the field as a freshman and be confident and want to take the shot at the end of the game.
All right, so the chalkboards are out. We are filling in the blanks. Kerrigan Miller's game winner against the Northwestern Wildcats was, let's get writing. Uh-oh. Max with some nice form.
With a picture on the
Oh, man, it's Pictionary. Of course.
Save the
We've
best
never
for
done this one
first.
before. Yeah.
All
Are you
right.
just doing the photo?
Beautiful artistic
Okay.
skills. I tried, Josh. Don't laugh at me.
Fill
too
in the
hard.
blank.
Fire.
That's
Oh,
fire?
the emoji.
Fire.
Okay.
I went with eye-opening for many different
That's a good
reasons.
one.
Okay.
First reason is, I mean, you expect this team after the season they had last year to come in and at least start, 2-0. And they were very close to not doing just that. But who comes in and saves the day? It's freshman Kerrigan Miller. And not only that, but Coach Lindsay Mundy just touched on it. She is constantly being hard on herself, wanting to get better. Even hearing that, that's eye-opening for me. It just shows you there's going to be a lot of improvement down the line for someone who's already probably going to be the next big thing. She's eye-opening right there.
Yeah, I say fire because you saw that overtime USC controlled the draw from the start, but then it was pretty balanced after that. And she had her free position shot that was blocked, and she could have easily said, I'm tired. We've played a full game. It's overtime. Let's get back on defense. But she stuck around, and she finally got that goal. So.
And a sign of that confidence was the behind-the-back attempt earlier in the game,
yeah.
which didn't go in. But you knew something special was coming. She
For a freshman,
provided
You
it.
got to try again.
Throw that out there in a game. She's got to have some confidence in that in that skill.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The former #1 overall recruit in the country, and she's living up to the billing so far. Speaking of living up to the billing, as I mentioned, now USC has to go on the road to face Florida. Right. Florida, another top 5 team. All right, guys, get the chalk ready. The game against Florida will come down to blank. Uh-oh.
I don't know if I can draw too good of a picture.
You're drawing this one again?
It's quickly become
You're gonna
Pictionary.
draw?
An attempt at drawing will need some
Mine's pretty
explanation.
easy.
100,000%. That's going to need some explanation.
What
too,
is going
for
on
sure.
here?
Well, lacrosse balls are pretty easy to draw.
Okay.
I need ball control.
We've got a 2 in a
This is
square.
a 2 to symbolize the second half. Try to stick it with, I don't know, a number 2.
Oh, yeah, like
Okay.
the blue
Yeah,
numbers.
sure.
Yep.
Give me
Sure.
the benefit of the doubt. That's
Okay.
awful. But yeah, no, I went with the 2. It's because it's been a tale of 2 different stories for Florida and USC in their past 2 games. In the second half specifically, Florida against #1 North Carolina in their last game, they put up 7 second-half goals against them to keep it a close match. USC, on the other hand, in the last match against Northwestern, scored just 1 goal in the second half, allowed Northwestern to climb back, eventually pushed the game into overtime, where USC did prevail, but let it too close. It could have been completely avoided. They got to step it up in the second half.
Yeah, I think with offense, you need ball control. First thing, the draw control, USC did not lead, and constantly a thing is if you control the draw, you control the game. I was surprised that we were able to pull off that win in the game with the number of draw controls that we had because it wasn't even equal. It was like 30% of the time we were getting the draw. So we have to get that. We have to focus on the ground balls because if we don't do that, then we can't pick up on offense, and that's really going to kill us against
It's hard
Florida.
to score if you're not possessing the ball.
Yeah.
Good point.
Northwestern had some very impressive draw control specialists. So
Yeah.
I have to watch out for that against Florida. Another key component of the game against Florida, Gussie Johns, the goaltender, 17 saves against the Wildcats. Heroic effort from her. Finally, Gussie Johns' goalie skills are blank. Once again,
I'm keeping it with the theme.
I
Max
know.
is
I don't know if I can draw
Abby
mine
too?
though.
To draw another picture.
There's got chalk all over my pants.
It's okay.
Listen, there's a reason I'm a journalist and not a
All
graphic
right.
designer.
it's looking good so far. All right. Max applying the finishing touches.
Yeah, it looks like
What'd you get?
part baseball, part turtle. Wasn't going for either. This was a spider. Because her goalie skills are spider-like. Josh, stop laughing at me. This is a spider. What's your answer?
Mine are sunglasses because
Okay.
it's stunning
You almost have to put the shades on because it's crazy to see what you're seeing from her. I mean, the number of saves that she's had, the number of ground balls she's been able to pick up, it's like she's another member of defense. She's not afraid to get out of the cage and play with the team. So I'm like at a loss for words here when you're trying to figure it out.
I'll help you with the words then, because I'm just going to go right off what you were saying. She's all over the place on the field. And not only that, but it seems like you touched on it, 17 saves. That was her career high. It seems like she can stop almost anything. There was a one-on-one opportunity for a Northwestern player in overtime that she actually ended up stopping that game-winning save. Yeah, it's so hard to do that in the one-on-one opportunity. But so I think every ball is kind of just sticking to her goalie net like it's a web, like it's a fly going into a web. So I think she has it down there. Her goalie skills are spider-like.
Look, she's impressive. I'm really excited to see what she can do against Florida.
She cuts down the angles so well. It will be USC versus, according to Max, the Tortugas, or whatever he just drew, in Gainesville coming up. Florida Gators against the USC Trojans, 3:30 on Friday. We now kick it over to LTT, where Keely.
Well, thank you, Joshua. While it was raining this weekend, Trojan sports still brought the heat. It's time to light the torch. Women's basketball is heading out to their final road trip of the season after facing a tough loss to 11th-ranked UW on Sunday. Freshman Min Moore didn't let senior day go to waste, though, as she led the team in scoring for the third straight game. This garnered enough tension to win her Pac-12 Freshman of the Week for the second time this year. While the women of Troy have had a rocky season, they hope to gain some momentum as they head into the postseason.
Washington was a tough team, but I think we showed a lot of perseverance and a lot of will to get better, and I think we're on that path to kind of set the tone, getting ready for Pac-12 Tournament.
The women of Troy's last road trip will be crucial as they hope to improve their seeding for the Pac-12 Tournament in March. However, this will be the last time they'll have to focus on Arizona State this Friday at 7.
I went in there, I was confident, teammates were confident in me, and I got the job done. And it just defines who our team is. We don't give up. So I'm proud of these guys, and we're excited for the rest of the season.
Fashion last night against the 17th-ranked Long Beach State Dirtbags. Frankie Rios, who you just heard from, served up a clutch 2-out, 2-strike single in the bottom of the 11th. He feels that last night's victory, as you heard, may be the sign of things to come for this season. Moving over to men's volleyball, they're riding high after they defeated 2 top 10 teams this season, or this weekend, I should say. But the real test will come tonight when they take on Cal State Northridge. They also take on Long Beach State, the second team in the nation, on Friday. And while they struggled earlier in the season, they believe that they finally turned the page.
Honestly, the team, we look rejuvenated at this point. We are excited to play again. There's a lot more competition in practice as well as on the court. So yeah, we just keep looking to maintain at this level.
The Trojans travel north tonight, like I said, as they take on Cal State Northridge at 7. Well, as the youth say, it is lit. Back to you, Rachel and Josh.
Thanks, Keely. Josh, did you ever wonder how sports scene got its start?
Please inform me.
Well, actually, no one better to inform you than Ken Masinchi, one of sports scene's founding fathers. He's now a reporter out in Bakersfield and got a great chance to catch up with the Harlem Globetrotters.
I'm given the honor to be a Globetrotter, but obviously there's a lot of work I need to do before I can be able to use this ball and don the red, white, and blue.
All right, hey Ken.
Hey, how you doing?
Just great, how are you?
I'm doing well, having a good time.
What was that like, playing with the Globetrotters?
It was a dream come true growing up, loving basketball, seeing them for the first time on Scooby-Doo when they were guest appearing on the cartoon, and got to see them twice when I was growing up, when I was first learning about basketball, and then got to interview one of them last year, and then again this year they came into town. Asked the station if one of us could play with them. They picked me, and you know, it was a good time, really good time.
Ken, what was your stat line in that game?
You know, I got 2 points, got a steal, played some good defense. That was what made the coach the most proud, was my defense. Shot a couple 4-pointers because you don't get to shoot those anywhere except Globetrotters. So I had to take my chance there. Went 0 for 2 from there, but, had to put them up when I can. But 2 points and a steal, I was happy with my production for the day.
Okay, and one last question for you, Ken. If you could come back to sports scene and do it all again, what would you do?
Ooh, man, sports scene was a good time. That was one of my favorite memories from USC. Short time there, but that was a good time being able to put that show together. And you guys are doing a great job continuing it. If I could come back, just try and make it more interactive like you guys are doing, being out in front of the Coliseum, things like that. That was something we were just in the beginning stages of getting to do, and you guys are doing a great job doing it. So I would love to be able to be in the Galen Center or out in front of the Coliseum doing those types of remote lives. Those are a lot of fun.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us today, Ken, and best of luck.
Great being with you guys.
See you, Ken.
All right, well, that's all we have for you guys today. So thanks for watching, and you can catch up with us on social media at SportsSceneUSC.